In today's world of microservice-based web applications, it's becoming increasingly important to use a workload orchestrator to manage and deploy your application services across clusters of virtual or physical machines. Kubernetes is one popular option for doing so, but it's not the only one. HashiCorp's Nomad offers an alternative take on workload orchestration. In this video, I'll be examining similarities and differences between the two to help you gain a better understanding of the options and decide which one would be best for you. Hi, my name is Sid, also known as DevOps Directive here on YouTube, and I'm a developer advocate working with the channel. If you want to try out Kubernetes or Nomad, there'll be a link in the description that will give you $100 credit when you create a new account, which should be more than enough to get started. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today, we're exploring the world of container orchestration. It's a technology that has revolutionized the way we manage applications, and two tools that have come to the forefront of this domain are Kubernetes and Nomad. How do these two compare, and which one might be the best fit for your needs? We're here to help you answer these questions. What is Kubernetes? Kubernetes was initially conceived and developed by Google, but is now an open source project maintained by the Cloud Native Compute Foundation, or CNCF. It's a highly extensible and feature-rich container orchestration system offering everything you might need to run Linux container-based applications, from cluster management to scheduling, from service discovering to monitoring, even secrets management. However, the abundance of features comes with its set of challenges. Kubernetes is designed as an ecosystem of more than a half dozen interoperating services, with etcd at its core for coordination and storage. While this architecture offers powerful capabilities, it also has high operational complexity. Setting up Kubernetes for high availability can be an intensive task that requires significant time and resources. That being said, managed offerings such as the Linode Kubernetes engine can offload much of that work onto the cloud provider, enabling you to focus on building out your application and worry less about operation of the cluster itself. Now, what is Nomad? On the other end of the spectrum, we have Nomad, developed by HashiCorp. Nomad takes a more streamlined approach, focusing on two core functions, cluster management and scheduling. It embraces the Unix philosophy of doing one thing well, resulting in a compact and efficient system. Plus, Nomad integrates very well with other tools in the HashiCorp suite, such as Consul for service discovery and Vault for secret management. Nomad supports an array of task drivers, including Docker, Java, QEMU, and more. This enables it to run both containerized and non-containerized workloads. Its design, featuring a single binary for both the client and the server, makes setup simple and allows Nomad to be deployed consistently across various environments, from local development settings to on-premises data centers to diverse cloud platforms. Moreover, Nomad has undergone rigorous testing to prove its scalability. In 2016, it successfully completed a 1 million container challenge, and in 2020, took things further, scheduling over 2 million containers across 6,000 hosts. These are a testament to its robust architecture and capacity to perform under extreme requirements. How do the two systems compare to one another? There's many similarities as well as some differences that I'll call out. In terms of similarities, they both take a declarative approach to infrastructure and workload management. You as the end user define the desired end state of your applications and let the system determine how to best achieve them. They're both API driven, meaning that all system actions can be performed via a call to the system application programming interface. This approach makes both platforms extremely extensible to meet the needs of almost any system. They both enable scheduling of workloads across a cluster of virtual or physical host machines, allowing you to manage and utilize a pool of compute resources. They're both designed to support high availability with multiple instances and automatic handling of failover. Both projects are open source. They're both designed to scale to thousands of nodes and hundreds of thousands of containers, and they both support the container storage interface for managing persistent storage. This is great because it means that much of the work that's gone into building out cloud platform support for persistent storage on Kubernetes can be reused with a Nomad system. There's also some major differences between the two. One obvious difference is that Nomad supports containerized and non-containerized workloads, whereas Kubernetes is limited to running containers. For example, in Nomad, you can run Java applications with the Java task driver or shell scripts with the raw exec task driver. Kubernetes offers more things built into the system out of the box than Nomad, as cluster management, scheduling, service discovery, monitoring, secrets management, and more, while Nomad focuses only on cluster management and scheduling and offloads the other functions to separate tools. For example, for service discovery, you would want to use HashiCorp Consul, and for secret management, you'd probably use Vault. Scalability. I mentioned this as a similarity as well because both systems scale to meet the demands of most systems. That being said, Nomad has proven that they can schedule over 2 million containers within a single cluster a few years ago, while the Kubernetes documentation denotes that it's designed to accommodate configurations up to 5,000 nodes or 300,000 total containers. System complexity. Kubernetes runs as a number of separate components: Kube API server, the Kube scheduler, the Kube controller manager, and etcd on the control plane nodes, and then the kubelet and the Kube proxy on the worker nodes, while Nomad is just a single binary for both the client and the server. Operating system support. While Kubernetes does support Windows, it's primarily focused on Linux workloads, while Nomad is a bit more agnostic to its host operating system. The Kubernetes community is much larger. While it's not a perfect measure, looking at the number of GitHub stars for each project as of June 2023, Kubernetes has 99,000 stars compared to just 14,000 for Nomad. These are both very popular projects, but Kubernetes community is even larger. This is an advantage because there's lots of tools being built to run on or interact with Kubernetes that can solve common problems you might encounter. If you do encounter an issue, it's likely that someone else in the community has seen it before and may be able to help. This is less likely with Nomad because of the smaller community. So which of these two systems should you choose? Whether you use Kubernetes or Nomad depends on your specific needs, available hardware, team expertise, and maintenance limitations. A few reasons you might choose Kubernetes are if you prefer a system that has most of the capabilities you need built right in, if having a managed clustering offering, such as the Node Kubernetes engine, is appealing to you, or if you want to tap into the rich ecosystem of community and users around the world. You might choose Nomad if you have workloads that would be difficult to containerize, you want a system that's simpler to operate and set up, or you're already bought into the HashiCorp ecosystem with tools like Consul and Vault, or if you need to scale your cluster beyond Kubernetes' stated design limitations. You could also run Kubernetes and Nomad side by side, especially if you're a large organization with diverse application needs. You might find that Kubernetes meets the needs of some application teams, while Nomad meets the needs of others. So whether you choose Kubernetes, Nomad, or some combination of both depends on your unique operational requirements. Hopefully this video gives you a better understanding of workload orchestrators, as well as the similarities and differences between Kubernetes and Nomad. If you have questions about workload orchestration, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. Also, if you want to learn more about running your workloads in the cloud, check out other videos on this channel where you'll find all sorts of relevant information. That's it for today. Take care.